Just heading out in the shop this morning. Judah, what are you doing? What are you doing, Judah? She always follows me out here. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Be a good girl. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I got a couple things to go over. First thing is, in some of the video, I'm getting used to this mic. I got a mic now so you guys can hear me better, and I tend to hit it quite a bit. For a little bit I had it clipped on the car right here, so it wasn't on me, but I kept hitting it and stuff. So it's a little bit annoying in the video, but I wanted to leave some of that footage in there. Just to show a little bit of the way that I figure stuff out and trial and error type stuff, as far as like shooting the laser and figuring out where to mark it. Also, I was working on getting the brakes that I need for the car. I was trying to run the 99 to 04 GT front brakes with the wheels that I have. Let me grab one, I'll show you. So I have the American Racing, the vintage style 15-inch skinny. It's a 15 by 4.5. Unfortunately, there's not much room on the wheel for a rotor, which I believe they call pad height, which would be like the mounting surface here out to where the rotor or the caliper would be. My brother actually has an 03 GT, which is the same style of brake that I was going to run, so I took it over to his house and tested it on his car, and it doesn't fit at all. It would probably need a 1/4 inch or better spacer, plus the caliper was hitting on the wheel here, so that's not going to work out. So I ran to O'Reilly's and I picked up a set of brakes off for like a 94, 95 GT Mustang. The rotor is actually a little bit smaller. I believe it's about a 1/2 inch smaller rotor, so that hopefully will fit. We'll try to mock that up today, see if we can get that to work. Hopefully it works, because I'm trying to run this Hydro Boost to have power brakes and power rack, which is also kind of becoming a problem. It's pretty close to everything, so we'll see how that works out. I also like to say that I appreciate all of my followers, all the new subscribers and old subscribers. I appreciate you guys watching my videos. So I plan to do a bunch of video. I mean, the build series on the Fairlane is going to be quite a few videos. I got a lot of stuff to do to it. I'll probably do some garage videos. I'm always working on my garage. I want to build a new bench with toolboxes built into it so I can organize everything. I'd also like to build a welding bench in the back corner over here, so I got a station to weld. I have some other garage projects, as far as I have a exhaust fan I want to put in. Need to finish up some of my tin. I was going to paint the walls, just stuff like that. So stay tuned for all that kind of stuff. Also will be some drag racing content. I do race a stick shift Mustang. It's an 88 LX. It's got a dart block 427 with twin 76 mil turbos. I do a lot of racing with that car. So I'd like to get some of the stuff mocked up on this thing, get the suspension on it so I can roll it out, because I need to bring that car in and get it ready for the race season coming up. So stay tuned. We'll get to work on this thing. You also see I got my Maximum Motorsport 94 to 04 4-bolt casting camber plate sitting up here too. This is just to give me an idea of, you know, how much I can cut back, where I want to cut it. Just kind of centering this guy on here. This is the bottom plate. This actually goes from underneath. You just drill the holes. This goes from underneath and it sandwiches in here. I'm going to set this guy up here. Kind of get it centered how I want it. Give me an idea on how much I can take off. Actually, it's pretty centered. The whole goal that I wanted to do is I wanted the shock tower to be straight, or the frame rail here off this fender apron to kind of be a straight line to back here. So I planned on cutting this to make that happen. The thing that I did notice is that this factory tower seems to be twisted, where it's the distance from the frame to here and the frame to here on this side is bigger. So it's going to be hard to get that straight line that I wanted. Let's see if I can move you guys on the camera view so you can see what I'm talking about. So when you look at these two planes here and here, this one sticks out further than this one. You can tell that this is out a little further than this one. When I was going to cut this, what I may do is I may actually cut this across this on an angle like this, kind of like that. It's still going to be hard. Let's see if I can shoot this laser level straight down on it. Maybe something like that. Probably going to be the best I'm going to be able to do. And then once I cut all that off, I went on onlinemetals.com and I ordered a plate, 1/8 inch steel, and you can do custom cuts. So I measured the shock tower, the size. This is, I believe, 13 by 16 high. And once I cut that, I'm just going to hold this in there, trace it out to make it form to what I need it to form to. I'm going to cut it out, and then I'll just weld it all the way around. And then I'll grind back the weld, smooth it all out. I kind of like how the top of the shock tower here is rounded. I kind of like to keep some of that roundness right there just to make it blend in and look a little bit more factory. And then of course after I do all the metal work on this, I'm going to body work it and have it painted to match the rest of the car. Let me show you. These caster camber plates are the Maximum Motorsports 94 to 04. Part number is MMCC 9994. This is a 4-bolt style. A little bit stronger, having 4-bolt mounting. I've always been a big fan of all the Maximum Motorsports stuff, so I figured this would be a cool car to incorporate some of their stuff on. That, and I just think they look good. All right, next we'll be on to marking it all the way out and cutting. Okay, so I actually used my phone stand to mount my laser level on. It's screwed right onto it. It was perfect. This way. Let's see if I can get this in here. I was able to shoot that laser straight down. Pretty hard to see because of the light in here. Maybe I can turn the light off. There we go. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to mark it out. And then we'll start cutting. Okay guys, so now it's time to start cutting. I got the tower marked out. Used the laser level. I got my 5-inch cutoff here with one of my new wheels on it. Actually pretty thin. It's 1/24. So it's pretty thin cut. Get my hood on. I always wear the mask because I just think the double protection is worth it. I've seen these blades break and people got them lodged in their mask, so best to use it than not to use it. So, well, here goes nothing. This is the part where you really want to take your time and try to follow your line. Just let the wheel do its work. Okay, so I got it pretty much cut all the way through. You can see the line. Still not coming out yet though because it's still kind of attached in here with all this. I think right in here, I might have to just come in here and try to cut this straight across, peel the piece out, and then I'll be able to get in here and clean up all the frame section once I have the piece out. Get you straight above. Okay. So I'm hoping that's going to be enough room. Cut back the shock tower. If I got to tweak it, I'll tweak it. But I got this 04 Cobra Hydro Boost setup that I'm going to be putting in here. And I think it's going to be pretty close. I may have to actually come in and clean it up a little bit more to make this fit. It's going to be tight because I also have Modern Driveline's hydraulic clutch pedal set up in here, which is mounted right below this. I may actually have to try to move this up a little bit. It looks like the factory hole right here is a little low. I'll have to pull the whole pedal box out and look at it and see if there's room for me to just move this up a little bit. What I may do is just get another piece of 1/8 inch plate and make an adapter that I can bolt to the firewall or bolt to the factory pedal box, and then I'll just cut the hole up a little bit higher so that I can push this assembly in there because it is sitting a little low. I mean, it would possibly work, but it looks like it may interfere with the adapter for the hydraulic clutch pedal. So let's continue to get this thing out of here. All right, so it's a little bit of a fight, but it's out. Nice little cut. So now I'll be able to go in here and get all this frame stuff cleaned up in here. Get this other piece off, these other pieces off of here. Okay, so I got most of this cut and cleaned up. I got my plate steel in here. What I'm doing is I'm going to set it in here like this. What I think I'm going to do, because of the difference in how far back this is and this is, when I cut my piece of steel, I want to make it fit on the inside right here and then go on the outside here, because I kind of want to try to make it as straight line as I can on the frame right here. There used to be a lip here and I cut it all off. So when I'm done cleaning it up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld this back together here and then grind it back smooth again. And then when I put the plate in there, I'll be able to weld it on both sides, inside and outside. So once I kind of fit it, I look straight down here and I'd mark all the little sections. I'd take the marker and you can just run it along the tower to kind of mark the high spots or low spots or whatever you got to cut to make this gap as clean as you can. And then once you get it how you like it, you see here I marked it. So I just held it in place. And I took the marker and I used the tower as a template to mark out the piece of steel. So now all I really got to do is cut this out. And then obviously you're going to have to fit it a lot to make it exactly how you want it. I'm trying to make it so there's no big gaps so I don't have to do a bunch of weld. So I'll fit it in there really good and then I'll just start tacking it in. I'll get it all fit up. So that's about where I got it. It's definitely got to take a lot of time and get this all cleaned up and cut how you like it. This is the point where, you know, the prep work is going to be very important for the finished product. You can see the holes here. These were where the factory shock tower bolts went through. So when I put the plate of steel up here, I'll just plug weld that in there, fill it all up with weld so I can drill my new holes. And I'll also have to hole saw a hole through for the strut to come through. So that's where I'm at. Keep plugging away. Okay, so I got my piece cut. Pretty close. Now what I'm trying to do here is I want to make it fit on the inside of here. So I'm holding it in place. I'm taking my Sharpie and I can see the high spots that need to be cut out so that it fits in there. So I'm just marking them along the edge here. Some there, some up here. This is kind of a long process, so you just need to keep doing it. I'm taking my grinder and grinding it off a little bit at a time until it fits. using my DeWalt grinder with one of these flapper discs on it. It's kind of just removing a little bit at a time. Hold it back in here. It's definitely getting closer. The fit is decent. The thing that I kind of trying to get away from, see if I can get you guys to see this, is the way that the frame is. Maybe I'll lower you down a little bit. I want to give you an angle to where you can see what I'm talking about, because the frame really isn't very... So the gap is kind of the problem. This stuff off. Because of the angle of the frame. Throw a light in here. Should light it up some. Oh yeah, it's pretty decent. No, you know, just a little bit more. When you're looking down the frame, because of the angles, you can see that here it's pretty straight, and then it kind of tapers back, which is okay, but it's opening up a little hole here, which I don't think would be a big deal because I could just fill it with weld, grind it back. But I feel like it'll fit better if I can get this piece to fit flush here, like inside, so that this is flush. I just filled it with weld and grind it back, and it makes this line a little better. I like it a little better. So once I can get this whole edge right here up to the top to fit inside, and then this one will sit on top, and I'll cut it back so it's nice and it's beveled, and then I'll be able to fill it in with weld. So let's keep marking it off. Move you guys on another angle again, maybe you can see what I'm doing a little better. Pretty close. So down here is pretty good. I can still push it that way a little bit. So when I look up the line, I can see some marks, like right here. A little bit needs to come off. And I'm not taking much. I'm just grinding it a little bit to clean it up until it fits exactly how I want it. I'm pretty particular with my stuff, so I tend to take a lot of time doing this. I'll try not to record it all because it's kind of gets boring. But I think it is kind of important to show. So right now I'm just working on this section. Once I get this exactly how I want it and it falls inside, then I'll be able to start doing this section here. I may actually, if I can get this to fall in, I might be able to go from the back side and just mark it. And then I'll be able to see the mark and I can just cut it. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I pretty much got it fit up how I want it. Trying to see. Right on the frame rail there. Definitely took a lot of cutting and grinding. I mean, this is definitely not an easy job. I just can look on the floor and see my giant mess. So now I need to start grinding back all the paint and stuff. Still got to make the plate for the top, but I'll probably start tacking that plate in. I just got to run out and get some more wire for my welder. Get it inside here. I plan on welding it on both sides, so I'll weld it on this side, weld it the other side. This way I can grind the other side out and make it nice and smooth. So I got the passenger side cut out. The biggest problem that I'm having is this. I'm probably going to have to replace this whole fender apron. I mean, I bought another one from Max, but the quality on it is not very good. somebody modified this because this car, when I bought it, it had a 302 in it with a Paxton supercharger, and the inlet tube came through this, so they modified it to work. They didn't do a very good job on it either. So what I might do with the Max fender apron that I bought, set you up here, is just cut out. I may try to just cut out the section and repair this, and then I'll have to rebuild the shock tower a little bit, which probably won't be too easy, but I don't really have many other options. Bring you around the other side here. Show you all the stuff that I cut off of it. It's quite a bit. Here's the, set you up over here, show you guys the panel that I made. This is the panel that I made for the driver's side. I just need to make one for the passenger side now. Another thing I want to show you guys is I did get some of this kind of mocked up in here. Just like a quick mock-up, just to get an idea. This is, these spindles are actually off an 04 Cobra, but I believe the 96 to 04 are all the same, whether it's a V6 GT or a Cobra. These are Fox Body Strange single adjustable coilovers with their coilover kit. And I'm going to try a 14185 spring in here. And then I got the Racecraft. Bring it a little closer. I got the Racecraft tubulars. These are 11.5. Now that I'm looking at the geometry though, just where the top of the strut is winding up, this isn't parallel to the ground. It seems that it's towing this way. And I don't know how much adjustability I'm going to have up top back and forth, because I was trying to bring the top out some, because I don't have a lot of room now that I cut the shock towers back. I mean, I'm not an alignment guy, so I don't really know where exactly it's supposed to be. But spin this down a little bit. Shove the glove up there so it wouldn't chew up the top, but I still have them in the bag. So when I push this inward, it brings up the spindle, I think, to about where it needs to be. But I'm actually pretty far inboard. So I don't know if, obviously if I went with the longer, lower control arm, it would pull the bottom out. I think I'm going to have to look up some specs on alignment and actually see where it needs to be before I can make that decision. But I just wanted to get it in there, get you guys a little view of what it's going to look like. I did go to O'Reilly's and I bought rotors and calipers that are supposed to be for a 94, 95 GT. And it's obviously not the right parts because the bolt pattern on the rotor won't even fit. So I'm going to have to take that back and see if I can get them to get me the right stuff. So that's going to tie up this video. I'm just going to edit it and post it so you guys can see it. I mainly wanted to get the shock towers being cut and making the plates and all that stuff. Hopefully I can get the right parts for the brakes and all that. And then the next video I'll start squaring everything up and drilling the holes and putting spaces and everything in for the K member. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoy the video. I'm going to do you a little show around on the top before I cut out here.
you.